from out of the mud. Today we have a special guest, Cap Sean, all the way from Houston, Texas. I'm gonna share his views and opinions, and we are definitely gonna delve into a conversation that deals with enjoying your friend's criticism, and we also gonna talk about some ownership. Ownership, be it whatever it is. So, brother Cap Sean,
Yes, sir.
yeah, I'd like to introduce. How you doing this evening?
Hey, man, I'm here. I'm here,
It's
so we
good.
good.
Good seeing you. Good seeing you, man. You know what I mean? We're gonna
Uh,
talk about this. Oh, go ahead.
Always a pleasure, my friend.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, it's always a treat, seeing you for real. You know what I mean? And having the chance to chop it up with you. This is a person that I really respect his intelligence. You know what I mean? And, I respect everything about him. Good brother. You know what I mean? All very supportive of the youth. You know what I mean? He got a Caption clothing line. And I'm sure he could tell you more about his websites and things of that nature where you can find him on social media. And we need to support this brother because this brother be supporting us for real. You know what I mean? So yeah, like good seeing you, brother. And today we're gonna talk about enjoying your friend's criticism. You know, enjoying your friend's criticism. And it's coming out of the book called The Way of the Superior Man by David Dida, if I'm pronouncing that right. David Dida. But so would you like to touch on that a little bit?
Um, but thanks, man. Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate you thinking about me and giving me that helium. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad you're giving me helium and not hot air. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's right. That's right. Lift
Because
the brother up.
helium make you float. You know.
That's right.
So I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much for having me on. Um, you talk about enjoying your friend's criticism. I could actually speak to that about you because we've
Okay.
had many solo conversations where
Right.
we collaborated on things, and you shared your views and I shared mine, and I was very open to the things you had to input into me.
Yes, sir.
Um,
Yes, sir.
Rather, I didn't have that view before I spoke with you. Um, I was able to take some nuggets from the things that we dialogued about. So um, when I think about reflecting on criticism from another man, um, sometimes you don't enjoy it. You're not going to enjoy it all the time. It may be sometimes it may be the harsh truth, where you got to go and look in the mirror and reflect. So um, I'm able to appreciate criticism from you and other peers and um, that may see things that I don't see because I'm always on the inside looking out,
Right, right, right.
opposed to the outside looking in. So I'm very receptive to enjoying criticism, things that I can take and help me grow.
Okay, okay. That's a very profound way to put it. You know what I mean? For real. I definitely understand what you're saying. And like I said, if you have friends, brothers, associates, people that's close to you, and they don't give you no criticism, you know what I mean? Then you might want to look at them a little side eye because ain't none of us perfect. You know what I mean? And the biggest room is a room for improvement. You know, and so it's really it's a thin line because a lot of us have thin skin, and then we'll look at where it's coming from, who is it coming from? You know what I mean? And the first thing we want to think, are they trying to slip me? He panicked. He really just, this some hater shit. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the conversation may be. But nevertheless, you really have to look at the things that people see from the outside looking in because it's a different view as opposed from the inside looking out.
I agree.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want you to if you got that passage out the book, right? The page
Absolutely.
example. Okay. So would you share that with our listeners or
Yeah, let me
viewers?
let me clear my throat one time because I got to put that radio voice in. I make May bring them on over to the other side one time. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. That's right. The brother pulling it up for those maybe watching. He pulling it
Okay.
up, putting it on the screen as well. So everybody can
Okay.
join inside of the superior man.
Here we go. A man's capacity to receive another man's direct criticism is a measure of his capacity to receive masculine energy. If he doesn't have a good relationship to masculine energy, example, his father, then he will act like a woman and be hurt or defensive rather than make use of other man's criticism.
Mm, mm. And that's very profound. That's deep.
Yeah. Um, just a side note, what I take from that is, you know, I know often they say mothers and sons, fathers and daughters, which is rightfully so. The man kind of molds his daughter into how she's going to choose the perfect or not the perfect. Let me strike that. Choose a guy or a man for her. So
Hmm.
I can kind of test on that. But in order to receive a man's criticism from a peer or um, a family member, an older family member, I think it takes some some leverage of having your guards down, and actually like stepping outside yourself and looking at yourself. But if you don't mind, I'll read this other passage,
Oh, go ahead, please.
kind of just alluding to the book as well. Um,
Okay.
about a week of, about once a week, you should sit down with your closest men friends and discuss what you are doing in your life and what you are afraid of doing. The conversation, the conversation should be short and simple. You should state where you are at. Then your friends should give you behavioral experiment, something you can do that will reveal something to you or grant more freedom in your life.
Mm,
I want to have an affair with Denise, but I don't want to hurt my wife. I'm afraid of her finding out, you might say. You've been talking about Denise now for 6 months. You are wasting your life energy on this fantasy. Wow. You should either have sex with her by tomorrow night or drop the whole. I'm sorry. You should have sex with her by tomorrow night. I'm trying to find out what it says here. I'm sorry. My apologies. You should
no,
have sex with her by tomorrow night or drop the whole thing and never talk about it again. Your friends might say. Challenging your hesitation is mediocrity. Okay, I know I'm not going to do it. I see now that I'm too afraid of ruining my marriage to have an affair with Denise. My marriage is more important than my desire for Denise. I'll drop it and refocus on the priorities in my life. Thanks.
mm,
Your close men friends should be willing to challenge your mediocrity by suggesting a concrete action you can perform that will pop you out of your rut one way, one way or the other. And you must be willing to offer them your brutal honesty in the same way if you are all to grow. Good friends should not tolerate mediocrity in one another. If you are at the age, if you are at your edge, I'm sorry, if you are at your edge, your men friends should respect that, but not let you off the hook. They should honor your fears and, in love, continue to goad you beyond them without pushing you.
mm,
If you merely want support from your men friends without challenge, it bespeaks an unresolved issue you may have with your father, whether he is alive or dead. The father force is the force of loving, challenge. and guidance. Without the masculine force in your life, your direction becomes unchecked and you are liable to meander in the
Meow.
mush. Yeah, meander. I'm sorry.
You're all right.
Liable to meander in the mush of your own ambiguity and indecision. Your close men friends can provide the stark light of love, uncompromised by a fearful Mr. Nice act, by which you can see the direction you really want to go.
Mm.
Uh, that's it's kind of deep.
It's one more paragraph.
Yes. Choose men friends who themselves are living their edge, facing their fears, and living just beyond them. Men of this kind can love you without protecting you from necessary confrontation with reality that your life involves. You should be able to trust that these friends will tell you about your life as they see it, offer you a specific action which will shed light on your own position, and give you the support to live in the freedom just beyond your edge, which is not allows or even usually comfortable.
So basically, what I gathered from what you read, thank you, brother Capshawn, for reading that. Basically, they saying you don't want a yes man in your corner. You want somebody that's gonna be able to tell you about yourself. And even when they say your friends, it say your friends should be honest with you. You know what I mean, and let you know what you need to know. And a lot of times we see our friends out of order, and do we always let them know you out of order, or do we not say nothing? Guess it depends on the situation and the friend. You know.
Yes. So with you saying that, how do you challenge your friend? How do you challenge them to? Is it by? Are you qualified to give that type of um, rhetoric back to your friend if you are doing it or not doing it? What's the leverage behind that? Is
What
it
a lever?
modeling? Is it modeling?
Huh?
Is it modeling?
I mean, I think the leverage is actually wanting to see your friend in a better space or a better place. Because with the biggest room being the room of improvement, you know what I mean? Meaning it's always room to improve. So if you're telling somebody something, hopefully it's coming from a good space within yourself to say, hey, I just want to see you do better. You know what I mean? Or I know you better than this, or better than what you displaying. It's kind of like if you was with a friend and y'all went out and your friend got drunk and he was just, I mean, drunk. This ain't him.
Mm-hmm.
So, you make sure you look out for him and take him on home, and get him out of harm's way. You know what I mean? And you already know this is not him on a normal day. You know what I mean? But so you got to take care of him for now until he can come become himself the next day. If that make any sense.
Yeah, it does. The reason why I bring up modeling because if you're close friends with someone and you're giving them information on things that, like you said, can help them improve, are you living in that truth that you're actually giving? So that's kind of like you playing it, you playing the field the right way, or you playing a double edged sword. It's kind of like
You know, Oftentimes a lot of people can give us advice and they might not be following it themselves. You know what I mean? Them usually the ones that get the best advice, the ones that don't follow it themselves. You know what I mean? But sometimes we have to, you know, stay on course with the message and overlook the messenger. You know what I mean?
yes,
A lot of times we paying so much attention to the messenger, we don't even catch the message. You
yeah.
know,
It's almost like I can tie it into what you just said is you know uh, a lot of a lot of us sometimes We listen to respond with defense instead of listening to listen and to actually take in what the message is.
Right. Right. Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree. You know, a lot of us we do listen in the defense mode. You know what I mean? Just listening, making sure. Okay, well, as soon as we get done, as soon as they stop, I'm gonna tell them this and I'm gonna tell them that. You know what I mean? But you ain't heard a word they actually said. You know what I mean? Because you thinking about what you got to say back. You know. But yeah, that's. I noticed when you first started reading this, one thing that caught my attention in the first paragraph where you say, hold on, I done went to something else. Hold on. Okay, to where you said a man's capacity to receive another man's direct criticism is a measure of his capacity to receive masculine energy. And see, that thing was the masculine energy. You know, it's my opinion that if you look in our community, you don't see a lot of masculine energy. You know, it's like the tidal wave and switched course. You know what I mean? It took the young men to another energy that's not totally masculine. You know, coming from a masculine place, and so that just goes to show how important um, the men are in our community because you know you have women displaying masculine energy these days, and that's not even her. That's not their natural nature. You know what I mean? You know they supposed to display feminine energy. You know, but that masculine energy cannot be underrated, and I think it has been taken for granted to where you don't even actually even appreciate. Well, it's been taken for granted to where it's actually appreciated. When it is, it should be the norm coming from a man or a male perspective.
So, in your opinion, do you think um, it can be received better in a two-parent household, or
Facts.
what does it take? What does it take for a man to receive masculine energy if, uh, for example, they had to grow up without a father present?
In that case, I believe that you know, granted, you got your uncles, your whoever else you look up to, but if you living in a single parent home, which which I did, you know, I was raised in a single parent home with my mom, and and the masculine energy I received was artificial. You know what I mean? Meaning it was coming from a woman saying, "Look, this is the way a man's supposed to be." You know what I mean? I can't walk that walk because I'm not a man, but I'm telling you this is what he's supposed to be. This is how he's supposed to do. This is, you know, how he's supposed to carry himself. You know what I mean? And if you displayed anything other than that, it got checked in my household. Unless you was a woman, you was a sister, you was one of my sisters or something. You know, there was a feminine energy, you know, that she was teaching them. But my masculine energy, for the most part, at home was artificial because it was coming from a woman. You know what I mean? But it worked. You know,
Oh
it
yeah,
worked.
I understand that. So that's a great analogy because I was raised in a single parent household with my mom as well,
Okay,
and
that's right.
um, I think nowadays, me and my wife was talking just a couple of days ago, and that since I was in a single parent household, just like you said, and you said it was artificial. Do you think your mom was raising you based on what she wants you to be or what she didn't have, as far as maybe your father or the man of the house? Was she raising you to be what she may have wanted to have in a man in the house?
Yeah, that could have been the case. I think it might have been a little bit of that and the examples that she seen that she didn't like in other people. You know, she didn't want to be transferred to me, so she'd be like, "No." Nah. And you know, yeah. So yeah, I never looked at it like that, but yeah, that could have very well been the case. You know what I mean? Because the man was missing. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, that's a brilliant point. And that's that's something I hadn't even considered. But yeah, that
On
could
top of
actually
that, on top of that, also, I think you may attest to this for as well. Since I was raised in a single parent household, um, every time I left the house, I didn't want my mother to get a phone call. I actually didn't want. I was afraid of disappointing my mom, so I
right,
didn't want to let her down because I've seen her cry and be let down by men,
right,
and I didn't want to be one of those men, young men to a man, to do that.
right, right. I agree. I mean, it definitely. I mean, it's even as a child and not receiving the proper amount of masculine energy. You still have to look at nature. So just in nature, period. You know, the men or the young boys, the young men, they protectors. They are protectors historically and present. See, well, I don't know about presently now about protecting. You can turn it's a thin line now between protector and predator. You know what I mean? But we supposed to be the protectors within our community, within our homes, and within our just period. We supposed to protect the women, protect the son. I mean the daughters. The son's supposed to protect the daughters. You know what I mean? And the mothers protect the boys and the girls, and the father protect both as well. So yeah, that's it's heavy. That's heavy, man. It's heavy. I have to say
Uh,
that. Heavy.
Going back to that passage,
Mhm.
uh, I can ask you, and I would want you to refer it back to me as well.
Okay.
Um, who has validation to give you masculine energy and that masculine criticism?
Mm. Well, I think it should be, if the people that you say that's your man's, he should have that validation to do that. He should be able to do that. You know what I mean? Like if he see you finna walk off a cliff, your man's supposed to be able to walk you down, talk you down. Come here, come on, man, this ain't it. Period. So if he don't have that power, you don't have nobody in your life that you care about that much that you would listen to. Then some changes, some changes. It needs to be some real serious changes taking place in your life.
Man, I agree with that 100%. You answered it for me as well. You got to watch your
Okay.
circle. You got to watch your
Yeah,
circle.
yeah. Your
And
circle should. By the time you reach a certain age, your circle should be a period. You should be done figured it out. They don't the quality over quantity. You know what I mean? It's better to have one good person in your life than 100 people that don't mean you well. The
yeah,
quality of your life will be, totally different from those two extremes. 100 that don't mean you well versus one that means you well.
that's what's up, man. That's it's remarkable because I have sons,
Hmm.
and
Me too. Me
I
too.
pride myself on being to them what I wanted to have in a father. And that helps me very cautiously choose the words that I use.
See. Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm listening.
Uh, it helps me choose the words I use, especially when they come to me with questions.
Mm.
Um, uh,
Hold up. So they do come to you with questions.
yes,
They do. That's honorable. That's commendable. That's honorable. That goes to show you that they smart. You know what I mean? They ain't got to figure it out because pops been through it. So let me ask about them, and then I really know what my options are. But go ahead.
yes, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And ain't no handbook on being a parent. Ain't no handbook being a father. Because if it was a handbook, I'm quite sure it'd be the number one seller.
You better know it.
Because I would have been and burned the book, uh, tossed the book in the garbage, and went to go buy it again. Every time it was gone, I'll go buy it again
Oh man.
because you had the frustrations, and you be like, man, there's something I'm missing in that book. Let me go buy it again. Oh, this book ain't right. Let me burn it. They ain't listening. They ain't listening to this. Let me
Right.
burn this book. Let me throw it away. Then I go buy it again because I, offering and giving them what I didn't have is the biggest challenge for me because I want to see them be better than me at the age that they are. I'm 52 years old. They're in their
Okay.
20s, the middle 20s, the early 30s, and I'm like, okay, um, using cuss words don't make me tough, but giving them some information. I know people just say, "Get them some game, get them some game." I had to strike that from my vocabulary.
Okay.
I'm not giving out no game. I'm giving you
Right.
some information.
Right.
So the information I offer you is because you asked. And it's good that this topic is getting masculine criticism because I often will find myself uh, being in a position where they ask me a question and I have to make sure that I take that 3 or 4 second pause. It's that pause. It's like, okay, all right, let me give you wholeheartedly from my heart what I feel that I can give you to answer your question to the best of my ability with hopes that it's not a bunch of jibber jabber, but it's something that you can actually use.
Right. Right.
And
And
so
that's
they receive it. They receive it. And, even when me and you dialogue off this page, you know what I'm
right.
saying?
Right.
From Houston to Michigan, you know what I'm
I
saying?
mean,
I don't see you. We're not FaceTiming all the time, but I can hear you and I can see your facial expression and anything, everything. You like, man, hey man, try this or try that. I'll give you an idea. You be like, I like that idea, but maybe try it this way too. Look at it that way. And then I'm like,
yeah,
okay, I didn't look at it, I didn't see it like that before I talked to Larry. You know what I'm saying?
right.
But Larry gave me some nuggets, you know what I mean, that I can
Yeah.
use. So that constructive and masculine criticism is very helpful for me at this age. And I wish I had my father giving me that type of information early.
Right. 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 Yeah. And as we, as most, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I can hear you now. Okay, because yeah, okay, I got you now. But yeah, that's something that a lot of us, is missing, and then we try to make up for it. Like you say, I think that's a good example. Become the hero, or become the father that you didn't have. Be that, you know what I mean, to your children. You know what I mean. Sometimes it can be difficult depending on the circumstances of the situation because we know as children grow. You know what I mean. If you don't catch them in critical times, then they get to spaces to where they don't listen to you. And there's nothing more frustrating than when you have a person who refuses your wisdom. And so a lot of times when you catch a person and they refuse your wisdom, as far as I'm concerned, I'd be like, okay, Larry, they're refusing your wisdom. But now you just sit back and let their hard headedness become their regret. You know what I mean? Because you tell them, hey, I done been down this road. I'm telling you about it. I'm telling you it's down there. You might can't see it now, but it's down there. And they go and want to find out is it down there, and then they find out it's down there. I mean, but that's what they had to. There's some people had to experience some type of things on their own.
Yes.
Yeah, So yeah,
I think it's imperative nowadays to receive masculine criticism from your friends because just like you alluded to, I think we all have pretty much been through the same thing. Especially, I wish I would have received some more of that earlier on because when you get down to zero and fall flat on your face, that's one of the biggest challenges of all, man. And um, a lot of times there ain't no audience; it's just you and God.
hmm.
And then I think we spoke a little earlier before we got on here about humbleness and humility.
Right, right, right.
And
Touch on that. Touch on that.
uh, as I kind of mentioned as just an example earlier, that I'm humble in a different retrospect, but I'm really not humble. When it comes to certain things, I have more humility than I have being humble,
Okay.
and I would say humility more than being humble because I'm able to talk about my downfall. I'm able to speak on them. I don't have to hide them, and that's what I feel my humility comes in from. I'm not afraid to talk about it. Some people can, hide that. They don't want to talk about it because it's pain. I have no pain when it comes to that because my humility may help someone else be able to talk about their pain. And
Facts.
if you
Facts.
talk about your pain, it's like you got it off you. It's not brewing and stewing inside
Right. And oftentimes we have to get this stuff out of us.
you. Okay.
Yeah. Oftentimes we have to get the stuff about you, because a lot of times we have that's what we call untreated trauma, where
Mm,
something happened to you and you just walking around like nothing happened to you, when
mm-hmm.
when in reality something did happen. You know what I mean? And if you didn't address it, you know what I mean, or talk about it, you can just a lot of times just conversation is therapeutic. It's very therapeutic. You know, because it's not that everybody that talk to you wants your opinion. It's a lot of times people just want to get it out of their self. Get it out their system. It ain't might not even have nothing to do with you. They just want a person to listen. Where they can get it off their chest. But at the same time, you have to also be conscious of what you're receiving. Because if you're sitting there and I'm giving you all this bad news, I'm giving it off me, handing it over to you. What you gonna do?
Like,
you
ooh,
know?
that was heavy. That was heavy,
Yeah,
man. I don't know.
they
Ooh,
burns
like,
on you.
ooh.
You know what I mean? Just hand them sack off the ego, man. These problems. You know what I mean? You think about them, because I've been thinking about them. So now you think about them. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, man. So we have to really, man, look at these serious subjects that deal with life. You know what I mean? Look at these things and give them some serious thought. Because we had to start having serious conversations, not just meaningless conversations. Conversations where a person can actually grow from the conversation. When you leave that person's presence, you still with that person because of what you said. It somehow resonate, or it was able to help that person to where they can carry it and execute it, and then benefit from it. Speaking of which, not to go off, not to, go ahead. What was you just gonna say?
Man, what you just said, when you leave that person,
Mm-hmm.
um, me and my wife went to church yesterday for the first time in years,
Okay,
like
okay,
in years, and
okay,
uh, you know how you go, okay, we're gonna wrap this like this. You know how I can get masculine criticism from you,
okay.
or masculine criticism from someone else, or just even some information. So the pastor was saying some things. You can go somewhere like I was listening to Larry, and he talked, and I'm gonna grade that out of 100%. What I heard from Larry, I took 70% of it.
Okay.
The other 30% I couldn't use. I just kind of just tossed it away.
They call
But
that
yet,
chewing on the meat and spit out the fat.
yeah, yeah. So I could say after all these years that we watch church on TV or on the iPad or computer or whatever, but being in the presence, I can say for the first time that we've been actually in the house after all these years, out of 100%, he hit 100%.
Okay, okay. See, it was meant. That's why I tell people. Me myself personally, I don't get caught up in religion to where I'm so steadfast on my religion to where I can't go visit somebody else's religion. If you invite me to come, chances are if I can make it, I'm gonna be there because it may be a message there for me. It ain't gotta necessarily come from where I go or where it's a reason. You know what I mean? And oftentimes you gotta go there to find out what the reason is. You know what I mean? Because I done been to services and it was it had my religion, but I was invited from it. You know what I mean? So that's a beautiful thing. Really just free our minds. You know what I'm saying? For real. We gotta don't get so caught up into your beliefs to where you can't explore. You know what I mean? Straight up to where you can't explore other avenues and other information. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. That's a beautiful thing. Y'all enjoyed yourself, huh?
Oh man, we enjoyed ourselves, and me and my wife, we empty nesters. No kids are here,
Oh
and
yeah,
so
y'all good. They
we do a
golden
lot
and
of
grown.
playing around. We do a lot of playing around.
That's
I'm
what's
always whenever she do something, I say, Jesus is on the main line. Tell him what you want. So we walking into church Sunday,
happening.
and they singing it,
No, straight up. Now, see, that's
and
an
we
old
just
spiritual there. Oh,
and we
that ain't no
both looked
Kirk
at each other.
Franklin.
We both looked at each other and like, we supposed to be here today, because
That's
it
right.
was just
Yeah,
it was all falling into place, and some of the things he said that I can just kind of repeat.
okay.
If you're gonna judge someone, ask if it's necessary, if
That's
it's
number one.
kind,
Is it
if
kind?
it's necessary, is it kind, is it true? Before you judge somebody,
Mm.
and it really wasn't so much of the word; it was just how he was putting it together. And then what made it really come full circle was when he first started. He said, "I'm gonna talk. I'm really talking about myself." He said, "I'm talking about myself, but I'm just gonna let y'all hear me talking about myself." And I was like, "All right, let's go, man." So
Yeah,
yeah, receiving that energy, just like I'm doing right now. I'm worshiping and witnessing what I
yeah,
what I receive, just to kind of maybe give to someone that maybe it can help.
yeah, for real, flat out. That's a beautiful thing too. Straight up. That's a beautiful thing. Just to hear you and your wife, you and your queen, y'all went to church yesterday. You know what I mean? And that's a beautiful thing. When you become a certain age, you understand what's important. You know what I mean? And the sooner you catch this, the better your life. The better the
Yes,
quality of your life, because that means you have longer to enjoy these type of things, these type of moments, to appreciate these type of moments. You know what I mean? In order, I guess you got to go through something to get somewhere. You got to
yes,
definitely
sir.
go through something to get somewhere. And man, just doing the right thing by your people, by your common people, man. Anybody that you come in contact with, doing right by them and having them do right by you. That's man, it seems so small and so insignificant, but it's very significant. You know what I mean? In our overall behavior and our overall acceptance of each other. You know what I mean? And things of that nature. But very necessary, should I say, for us to really,
Yeah,
start treating people the way we want to be treated. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And explore, check different things out. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's what's happening.
And I leave one more. He said, if you got stones in your hands,
Uh-huh.
drop them,
Let them
drop
go. Yeah. Before you throw them, just drop them. Yeah, that's heavy. That's heavy because a lot of us we throw stones and hide our hands.
them. Yeah. I ate. I done it before.
Yeah, yeah. I said
I
us. I
done it
ain't say.
before.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Throw a rock, bust a window, hide your
Yeah,
hand. You did,
yeah,
you did nothing. Yeah.
yeah,
So yeah, that's surely a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? That's one of those things that's very important, man. We just have a lot of things that we need to touch on, from time to time and remind each other. You know what I mean? Remind each other about these things. It's important that we think are insignificant. Oh yeah, speaking of which, when thinking about significance, so what you think about you know, Biden not running again?
Uh, it was needed.
Okay.
He showed he showed he showed at times his age and not being able to respond quickly and to be sharp. So I think that was a good call.
Yeah. Yeah, I was actually surprised, you know, because I guess the last time that was done, I might have been two, so it was before my time. You know what I mean? You know, but yeah. So what you think about him endorsing his vice president?
I mean, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
If you my man 100 grand, I go down.
You know that's crazy.
Larry, my guy. Larry,
Yeah.
my guy. If I can't run my brand no more, and the kids don't want to run it, and Larry, my guy. Yo, Larry, man, I don't have it all together, man. I need you, man.
Yeah. Sure enough. Sure enough. Facts. Yeah. Yeah. That's the way it's supposed to be.
I keep my political views short and sweet, man,
Oh
because
yeah, yeah. I can dig it, man. You know.
I start getting I start going into you start seeing me sweating and want to say some things that are not the right things to say for people ears to hear.
Okay, okay, I get it. You know what I mean? That's I was just it was a trending topic in the news, so that's what made me even speak on it or even say something about it because it was rare. It was just
Yeah,
unusual. You know what I mean? It was something that I had never seen, experienced in my lifetime. And not but like I said, the last time that happened it was in '68, and I was two.
yeah.
So at two, I ain't had no idea what was happening. So I had
That's
never.
humility. That's humility too.
What's that?
He don't
Oh,
have a
for him to
problem
do
with
that?
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
that's
yeah.
humility. Hey, you know
I mean,
what? I
but
can't.
at first he didn't want to. Now
He
it took
didn't
some
want
pressure.
to.
It took some pressure, but you know what I mean. He said what was best for the party, and yeah. So yeah.
So how does that? If you can, how does that tie into receiving masculine criticism to
Well,
to
see,
to to army?
yeah, now that's a good example because with him, you see, he did not want to surrender that spot. He wanted to keep running. He said, "I'm here. I'm still alive. I'm the president now. So why wouldn't I want to be the president tomorrow? You know what I mean? Or 6 months from now, or a year from now. Why wouldn't I still want to be the president? Um. So, but after hearing the criticism, from I'm sure from some of his closest people that he wasn't even expecting. He probably thought, dang, you'll probably be quiet unless I'm just all the way bold. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Or you come out like you coming against me. You know what I mean? So yeah, that definitely took that criticism. You seen criticism work. You know what I mean? Because he started getting it from every which way. So criticism do work. It can change. It can change you because he was even saying that I'm still gonna run for president anyway. But hadn't. I mean, but then he recanted that statement and passed the baton.
Yes.
So that's gonna make it a much more interesting election year. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely
Yeah,
gonna
like
be.
you said, it's a trend. It's a trending topic, and you know, I just really feel like the world we living in is so digital right now that if your mind is not secure on asking questions and questioning everything, you get swept up. You get
Fact.
swept up to what they keep pushing.
The agenda is real, man.
Yeah.
The agenda is real. You know what I mean? And whatever a person views may be, like when it comes to, it's three things that I really don't like. That I really with two things that I really don't like even delving into too heavy, and that's when it comes to these two topics, religion and politics. You know what I mean? Because views change from person to person, and you got the right to own your own view. I'm not gonna trip on you for the way you think because your experience might be different from mine or vice versa. You know what I mean? And so it's kind of like when you and with either one, it's like pick a side. You know what I mean? You red or you blue. Which one?
Yeah.
Pick a party. You pick a side. You know what I mean? You even when it comes to religion, you this or you that. You know, if I'm this, I can't come check you out over there. And if I'm that, I can't come over there and check you out. You know what I mean? So it creates a bunch. You know, both of those entities to me creates a lot of division. You know, and I say whatever make you better. If it improve your life, quality of your life, then I'm all for it. You know what I mean? If it makes you a better person, I'm all for that too. You know what I mean? But that's about it. You know, straight up. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you know, the topic tonight is it's a well-rounded topic because
Facts.
it can be stretched in a lot of different analogies of what's actually going on, like every day. You know.
Everyday life. One thing about life, life is life. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Absolutely.
And you know,
Absolutely.
I find a lot of people, you know, they talk like they want life to be easy, but if life was easy, it would be called easy. It wouldn't be called life. You see? So you know, life is life, and life gonna
Yeah.
be life. You know, while we here and after we gone, life still
Yes.
gonna be life. You know, we just have to, you know, like you say, stay informed. You know, gather as much information as you can. You know, and information is free, but what you do with it can definitely be powerful. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Straight up. And but yeah, we had a nice show tonight. You know what I mean? And where can the people find you? You know, brother Capshawn, where can they find you and what you got going on? Share some of your business.
Um,
Yeah, very legit business, brother. Check him out.
I I I started a brand Caption back in 2016.
Okay.
I had a vision of starting it um, for my sons.
Okay.
Um, my, my mission statement is um, I'm concentrating on money that I'll never get a chance to spend.
Mm. Mm.
Um,
Okay.
because everybody don't see things how I see it. But if I can create something for them to carry on, then as times change, they can add their own seasoning and do it. But
Yes.
the base is started. So I'm on Instagram. I got two pages, and it's at underscore caption, at underscore KAPSEAN, and at underscore KAPSEANTHX, and that's thanks for short. Um, I do a lot of videos, reels. I do reels with music. Um, a lot of the time, well, actually 99.9% of the time, without curse words.
Mm.
So it's friendly for all genres. I got a little room back there that my wife let me have. That I go on there. I got lights and all kind of props and stuff like that.
Okay.
Just being creative. So you can find me there.
Yeah.
I'm willing to help, and people always ask me how you do this and how you do that, and all I got for them is I just push every button until it do what I like for it to do. There's really no formula to it. Live life, love. So um, and hustle and motivate. That's that's
Mm.
that's all I have for the most part. But I made that for my sons, man, for them to have something and something for me to leave, because I pretty much won't leave them a lot of money, but I'm gonna leave them some things and tools for them to be able to make money. And I don't have any grandkids at the moment, so hopefully the I call these social media platforms my scrapbook,
Okay. Okay.
because what do we do with pictures? Where's most of our pictures nowadays? What's going to happen to our pictures and scrapbooks when we're gone? Will they be in a tub in the garage or in a tub in the basement? Or will my grandkids that I may see or may not see can go on this thing that's controlling the world and be able to push and see everything? So
Yeah.
that's how I do it. That's my thinking of it.
Okay, that's a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? I appreciate you sharing that with us. For real. You know what I mean? It ain't been nothing short of a pleasure of mine. Just to, grace your presence for this time. You know what I
Oh
mean?
man,
Straight
awesome
up,
pleasure, man, that you
straight up.
thought of me to
Oh man,
come
I'm
on here,
always
man. That's
real because I value your opinion. You know what I
I'm feeling
mean?
some kind of way. I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna get up off this call, man. And probably do the two step around here. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
man, rightfully so. You hear me? Yeah, rightfully so. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? For real, man. But it's definitely been a blessing, man. You know what I mean? To chop it up with you. And this is 18th episode of Lessons with Larry. Coming to you with Out of the Mud Media. Um, and I'll see you next Monday at the same time. You know what I mean? We're gonna have a different subject, and hopefully we can go in and if my man Sean, if Cap Sean ain't busy, you know what I mean? Maybe he might stop through, graces with his presence again. He's
I
always
will.
welcome,
I
for real.
will, man. This is a nice change of my life to be able to be added to something that's
For real.
beneficial for the community and for our adults and young adults.
Facts. And that's like I say, my thing is if we can get our people to start thinking, they can save themselves, man. You know what I'm saying? We can save ourselves. All we gotta do is start thinking. And then not only thinking, but actually putting some action behind our thoughts. You know what I mean? But we're gonna get there. Cause we're gonna
Yeah,
work on it. We're gonna work on it one Monday at a time. You
yeah,
hear me?
yeah.
Yes,
Because it's
sir.
definitely coming. It's definitely coming out the mud. Out of the
Yeah,
mud, INC. The platform is awesome. Want to
thank
give a
you.
plug to Out the Mud INC for
Yeah. Like, share, and
hosting
subscribe. Yeah,
hosting such a great thing for the world to see. I'm
yeah.
quite sure, L, you're gonna have a lot of different people on sharing different views and perspectives. Um, I'm going to send some people your way that I think will uh, be beneficial and be able to add some things to your platform as well, man. So again, I thank you very much.
Man, my brother, I appreciate you. And one of the most powerful things for black men is to communicate. For real. That's where our power at. And once we start embracing each other like me and you did, and like we do, genuinely, you know what I mean, with no hidden agendas, no ulterior motives, and none that just want to see our brothers do better and want to do better ourselves. You know what I mean? It's always a pleasure. It's always man, it's always my pleasure. For real, man. Straight up. You just don't know, man, for real. I'm happy about it. And I look forward to speaking with you again soon. You know what I mean? On this platform or otherwhere, or the way we normally talk. You know what I mean? But Out of the Mud Media has done it again. You know what I mean? Please like and please subscribe. Check the brothers out because we definitely growing. We growing. Share, 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 share. Can't say it enough. But with that being said, I'm out of here, Larry Lott. With lots of love mentors for success, and I'm gonna keep doing this. You know what I mean? And we gonna get there. And brother Capshawn, it's been my pleasure. Love you, brother. You know what I
Thank you,
mean?
man. I love you as well. I
Yes,
love
sir.
you
I
as
know
well.
that. Facts, facts. You know what I'm saying? Looking forward to seeing you again soon.
Likewise.
Okay, brother. All right, my man.